All right, so let's try a couple more. Number 5, again, we have two lines. If you think of g of x as being y equals, with a slope and a y-intercept, slope, y-intercept, and where a graph is going to split directions will be at 2. Okay, so we're going to have y equals -5/2 x plus 1 at x is less than 2. And then we'll have y equals x plus 2 when x is greater than 2. And notice here, there's no equals. So these should both have an open circle at that part of your graph, okay? So I'm going to go to 2 on my graph. And this time I'm just going to split it with a little line here. And then on less than 2 side, I'm going to be graphing y equals -5/2 x minus 1. Okay, and on the right side, I'm going to be graphing y equals x plus 2. Okay, so this may be whatever way is easiest for you. This may make more sense. Split your graph and then say what's on either side. Okay, and then we will be having open circles on both. So now we just have to put all of this information together. All right, so for y equals -5/2 x minus 1, that is a b of -1 and a slope of -5/2. So -1, 2, 3, 4, 5 over 2. Since I'm hitting 2 on the x, I'm going to put an open circle right away. Okay, I know that has to be open. Okay, and then I'm going to reverse it. So I'm going to go up 5, left 2. So this is a negative slope. We should be going down the hill. Okay, but it goes off to the left forever. Okay. All right, next line, that is a slope of 1 over 1 and a b of 2. So I'm going to start at 2 and go up 1 over 1. At 2, I'm going to open my circle. Okay, and even though I did my dots all the way across, I'm only going to connect them on the right side of 2 because that's where my piecewise function is split. Okay, so without all the dots and colors and stuff, it should look like this. All right, now let's do the domain. Okay, so if you think about x, we care about left to right. This goes all the way left, and the other line goes all the way right. But at x equals 2, we don't have a value. It's open on both sides. So that means our domain is x does not equal 2. That's a restriction there. Okay, there's an open circle. There's not a value. There's not a y value there. All right. And so our range here, well, there's a clear part of the graph, like range is up and down, and you think about where does it start and stop, okay? So my graph is clearly starting, you have to think of them both together, but it's clearly starting at -6. Sorry, took me a sec to count that. Okay, and then it's going up from there. Okay, and then it's also an open circle. So that's going to be y is greater than -6. Okay, so you kind of think of the most restrictive line. Like this is the most restrictive line on the domain, or on the range, because it's at the bottom. And the rest of my graph goes up from there. Okay, that is 5. All right, let's do 7. And we'll see where we're at there. Okay, 7 has 3 different chunks of your graph, okay? So you're going to split it into 3 parts. -2, less than or equal to -2 is going to be the graph y equals 2x. All right, then from -2 to 4, open, is going to be -1 minus x. And then from 4 greater than or equal to 4, 4 and beyond, it's -3. Okay? So I'm going to split my graph into 3 chunks, and then we'll go from there. All right, so x equals -2. We care about that. Okay? Then we care about 4 on the x. All right. Okay, so especially for the all the way left and all the way right sides, I'm going to be using my dots because we always start our line at the y-axis, but I'm not going to connect them except for what falls in their region, okay? So all the way left is y equals 2x. And this is greater than or equal to -2. So we will close it. Okay? Then, in the middle here, we're going to have y equals -1 minus x from -2 to 4. So those will be open. Okay, and then the last chunk will have y equals -3 for open circle at 4. Okay? So just to kind of give you a visual, I am going to split mine and color it, but you obviously do not have to do that, especially if you understand. Okay, so it's like 3 separate lines, and we're only going to connect our dots in the part of the domain that falls in that region of that line. Okay, so y equals 2x is going to be a m of 2 over 1 and a b of 0. So I'm going to start at 0, and I'll go up to right 1. Okay, if I kept going up to right 1, that would be in the region I don't really care about. So I'm just going to reverse it right away. Down to left 1, down to left 1, down to left 1, down to left 1. So that gives me my line. And then on greater than or, it's less than or equal to 2, not greater than, sorry. So I'm going to close that circle, okay? And then continue my line. I don't care about this other side because it's only y equals 2x when it's less than or equal to 2 on the domain, okay? So only connect the dots of the region that covers your line. Hopefully that makes sense. So, next one, let me zoom out, see if I can get a little brighter here. Okay, so this is a slope of -1 over 1 and a b of -1. Okay, so the slope is what's with x and the b is the other number. So I'm going to start at -1 and I'm going to go down 1 right 1 because it's a negative slope, and then up 1 left 1. Okay, so I've covered my whole region, and then we got to think about our circles. So these are both open. Okay, so I need an open circle where I would hit -2 and an open circle where I would hit 4. Okay, 2 open circles, and then connect your dots in that region. All right, last one, y equals -3. So that is a horizontal at -3 on the y, which is down here, okay? And it would be a horizontal, so go across, but all I care about is the side that's greater than or equal to 4. Okay, so that kind of looks like I connected it, sorry. Let me do my final answer here in all purple so you can see it. So that's 3 graphs put together on restrictions of domains. If that's a little confusing, here's what it should look like. All right, and let's talk about our domain. So we care about left to right. This goes all the way left. This has a closed circle at -2. Then I have some values, closed circle at 4, and then this goes all the way right. So that's still a domain of all real numbers. All the way left, all the way right. Okay, now our range, is there a clear bottom or top point? And yeah, there is. Up here where the graph doesn't cross, that's a clear top point, right? And the graph goes below this y value. That y value is at 2, and this is an open circle, okay? That's not 2, I'm sorry, that's just 1 box. That's at 1, my bad. Okay, so 1, and then we're going below, and then open circle. Put it all together. Y is less than 1, that's your range. Okay? Everything else, it goes on forever at some point. Down forever. Okay, that is it for the odds. If you want to do the evens, you can. They're just 3 separate lines. Split your graph and graph them one at a time and only connect the dots where they belong. Okay, that's it.